Hey everybody. I wanted to talk to you a little bit. I've had some questions about about dirt. So I wanted to answer as many questions as I could. I am not the expert. If you want the most information you can get, go see the Lady Grave Dancer. She is amazing when it comes to dirts. She gives the most information and is probably the most knowledgeable. But a couple of people have asked me a few questions, so I thought I'd do my best to answer. And a lot of my information is written down because I took notes from her, and I've read a bit about it, so I have some information that I've read about. So I'll give you what I have, and I hope that helps, okay? So I know that abandoned church dirt can cause one to lose faith, and that's not always in a negative way. You can lose faith in an old habit. You can lose faith in, you can lose faith in an old relationship, something that's causing you negativity and you want to get out of, a relationship that's not going well, or perhaps you're being taken advantage of. It could be a friendship. It doesn't have to necessarily be the kind of relationship where you're, your spouse or a boyfriend, but a relationship where you feel you're being taken advantage of and you want to lose faith in it. You want to have that person, you want to have that person lose faith in it and perhaps separate. So it can cause you to lose faith in a person, place, thing, situation. That's abandoned church dirt. School dirt can have to do with learning. So can library dirt. I got this from Lady Grave Dancer. Can do with children learning. You put sprinkle a tiny bit in your child's backpack. It can help them with learning. It can help you with learning. If you're a student going back to school, you can use it for spells to help you with that. If you're like me and a little bit older and having trouble with your memory, it can help with that. So that's school dirt or library dirt. I'm going to skip that one for a bit. Doctor's office or hospital dirt can help with health or healing. Situations where you found something out and it's not something you want to deal with medically, or something that's bad news and you want to work on getting healed or work on a spell to bring you healing. Or maybe it's a friend or a family member and you want to bring them some healing. Hospital dirt would be good for that. If it's your own physician who's giving you some news and you want to work on your own healing, doctor's office dirt might be good for that. At your job, maybe you want to get a little dirt from your job because you're having a hard time there, or maybe it's a place you want to get employment, so you want to grab a little dirt on your way out of a job interview, or maybe you're trying to get a job interview at that place, so you want to go there and try to sneak a little dirt. Courthouse dirt, legal matters, anything going on legally for you, yourself, someone else. Maybe it's something you want to cause a legal issue, something like that. Courthouse dirt. I have some dirt that is not necessarily a positive thing. I have some mental institution dirt, so that can be used in negative workings. That's enough said. And then there's cemetery dirt, graveyard dirt. Now, this is stuff I've read. This is not coming from Lady Grave Dancer. So some of the stuff I've read is that it stirs things up. Big, good, or bad, it stirs things up. It has to do with death, meaning spirit work. If you're making something like a death oil, and death oil is not always a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Death oil is, maybe you're going to use it to cause the death of something, a bad habit. Again, the death of you want to detach from something. You want to rid yourself of 60 pounds, a death oil. So death is something that you would associate with that. A death oil would do that, and you would want to add cemetery dirt to that. Lady Grave Dancer does talk about a chalk, a protection chalk, a graveyard chalk. that's a great thing. She talks about using that as a used to write on your walls as a protection type thing, to have it in your home or outside your home. Great things. You need to go look at her video there. I was gonna copy and paste it. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll put it in the information bar for you. Her information on dirt, or at least some of it. Let me see. I just listened to an interview of hers. So, placing it around your home. I talked about that with the couple of people who asked me about it. I put it in my mixture I showed in another video to run around my home with, boundary to boundary around my home for protection. She talked about dream protection, putting it around a bed of a child who's having nightmares, of someone else who's having nightmares, if you're having nightmares, that type of thing. Around spell candles, to kind of bubble them, she talked about. To, you know, bubble them, meaning like when you bubble yourself for protection, to bubble the candle, to make sure that it gets through that spell without being bothered. She stated that if you mix it with cinnamon powder and put it through your windows and doors, that it's great protection against spirits. Of course, in oils and other things for protection. Mix it with sand for protection. Again, to go around your either your windows, doors, or your home. It's good in mojo bags for protection. Making sure I got everything said. If you're worried about negativity being in it when you collect it, you can always sage it. Palo Santo, whatever it is you use to cleanse it. But if you have the intention of it being cleansed, when you're using it, you're putting your intention in it. So you're pretty much cleansing it yourself. But again, if you're worried about it, you can always sage it, and so on. Grave dirt itself. It's a personal choice, and I agree with Lady Grave Dancer. I hope I did not call her Lady Grave Digger in any of this, because I have a habit of saying that. So if I have said it and you're listening, Lady Grave Dancer, I apologize greatly. I will listen and make sure I didn't. And if I did, I will erase this and start over. Graveyard dirt, I agree with Lady Grave Dancer that it is a personal choice, but it's not something I would ever do. Would I go into a graveyard with respect, and I would never disturb a grave. Now, if it were a grave of my own ancestor, my own relative, that would be different, because I know that I would be okay and have consent to do that. I know that they would not have a problem. But I would not disturb the grave of a stranger, out of respect for not just them, but their family. And so it is a personal choice. I wouldn't tell you not to do it, because that's your decision to make, but that is my opinion on it. However, graveyard dirt is used for hexing, cursing, banishing. If it is your ancestor or your own relative, however, it's used for healing the self, any personal type spell work that you do on yourself. It's good for use in that, positive or negative. So that is what I know about dirt. That is the gist of everything I personally know. Again, if you want to get really good information, Lady Grave Dancer is the person to get it from. Her videos are amazing, not just when it comes to dirt uses, but when it comes to any use. I highly recommend her. If you want to find her on YouTube, it is The Lady Grave Dancer. All you have to do is put that in your search bar. You're going to learn amazing things. So I thank you for joining me. I hope that answered your questions or came close. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to say something to me. I will do my best to find out if I don't know. And please remember, you are all divine and sacred beings of light and love, and I love you dearly. Goodbye.